Desjardins translated stiffly. The master says thank you for noticing. He is in fact really old. But the throne is for the pharaoh. It has been vacant since the fall of Egypt to Rome. It is, comment dit-on, symbolic. The chief lector's role is to serve and protect the pharaoh. Therefore he sits at the foot of the throne. I looked at Iskandar a little nervously. I wondered how many years he'd been sitting on that step. If he can understand English, what language was he speaking? Desjardins sniffed. The chief lector understands many things, but he prefers to speak Alexandrian Greek, his birth tongue. Sadie cleared her throat. Sorry, his birth tongue? Wasn't Alexander the Great way back in the blue section, thousands of years ago? You make it sound like this Lord Salamander is... Lord Iskandar, Desjardins hissed. Show some respect. Something clicked in my mind. Back in Brooklyn, Amos had talked about the magician's law against summoning gods. A law made in Roman times by the chief lector, Iskandar. Surely it had to be a different guy. Maybe we were talking to Iskandar the 50th or something. The old man looked me in the eyes. He smiled as if he knew exactly what I was thinking. He said something else in Greek, and Desjardins translated. The master says not to worry. You will not be held responsible for the past crimes of your family. At least, not until we have investigated you further. Gee, thanks, I said. Do not mock our generosity, boy, Desjardins warned. Your father broke our most important law twice. Once at Cleopatra's Needle, when he tried to summon the gods, and your mother died assisting him. Then again at the British Museum, when your father was foolish enough to use the Rosetta Stone itself. Now your uncle is missing too. You know what happened to Amos? Sadie blurted out. Desjardins scowled. Not yet, he admitted. You have to find him, Sadie cried. Do you have some sort of GPS magic or... We are searching, Desjardins said. But you cannot worry about Amos. You must stay here. You must be trained. I got the impression he was going to say a different word, something not as nice as trained. Iskandar spoke directly to me. His tone sounded kindly. The master warns that the demon days begin tomorrow at sunset, Desjardins translated. You must be kept safe. But we have to find our dad, I said. Dangerous gods are on the loose out there. We saw Circuit and Set. At those names, Iskandar's expression tightened. He turned and gave Desjardins what sounded like an order. Desjardins protested. Iskandar repeated his statement. Desjardins clearly did not like it, but he bowed to his master. Then he turned towards me. The chief lector wishes to hear your story. So I told him, with Sadie jumping in whenever I stopped to take a breath. The funny thing was, we both left out certain things without planning to. We didn't mention Sadie's magic abilities, or the encounter with the Ba who called me a king. It was like I literally couldn't mention those things. Whenever I tried, the voice inside my head whispered, Not that part. Be silent. When I was done, I glanced at Zia. She said nothing, but she was studying me with a troubled expression. Iskandar traced a circle on the step with the butt of his staff. More hieroglyphics popped into the air and floated away. After several seconds, Desjardins seemed to grow impatient. He stepped forward and glared at us. You are lying. That could not have been Set. He would need a powerful host to remain in this world. Very powerful. Look, you, Sadie said. I don't know what all this rubbish is about hosts, but I saw Set with my own eyes. You were there at the British Museum. You must have done too. And if Carter saw him in Phoenix, Arizona, then? She looked at me doubtfully. Then he's probably not crazy. Thanks, sis, I mumbled. But Sadie was just getting started. And as for Saket, she's real too. Our friend, my cat, Bast, died protecting us. So, Desjardins said coldly, you admit to consorting with gods. That makes our investigation much easier. Bast is not your friend. The gods caused the downfall of Egypt. It is forbidden to call upon their powers. Magicians are sworn to keep the gods from interfering in the moral world. We must use all our powers to fight them.